This is Julie Murphy with Arizona Farm Bureau on our weekly Talk to a Farmer Friday. And for those regular viewers, you know that we've been on a series, and this is the fourth one on the small direct market retail farm. My guest today is Kelly Saxer, who is the lead farmer. Is that what you call us? Sure. Here in Agritopia. We're literally on the corner of Ray and Higley. It's actually where I live. It's across the street. And this is the epitome of a classic and amazing urban farm. They do a lot of direct market sales and all sorts of fun stuff. But before I get into asking you some questions, Kelly, I want to tell our listeners some of the interesting things about the direct market, or another way to say it is retail farms. Those are farms that, you know, they've kind of eliminated the middleman, right? Mm-hmm. They're selling directly to consumers, and this might be, you know, farmers markets, CSAs, or community supported agriculture, if you don't know that, initial and on-farm stands. So here in the United States in 2022, the latest USDA Census of Agriculture, the direct market farming receipts, so to speak, reached an impressive $3.3 billion in 2022 from over 116,000 farms across the United States, showing a solid 16% jump in value, even as the number of participating farms slightly dipped. Means you guys have to do more for those customers that still want to buy directly. This is proof of the pudding that consumers are hungry for that personal connection to their food. And Agritopia here in Gilbert, again, right on the corner of Ray and Higley, is the epitome of that. I mean, I don't know if you can tell behind Kelly and I, besides we're kind of showing you the field and some of the farmers that, out in the field that are working it. And then on the horizon, though, is the apartment buildings. So this is a true urban farm. So here in Arizona, our farmers are punching above their weight in the bigger picture. Kelly Saxer is one of those examples. While direct-to-consumer sales totaled about 20 million from 751 farms. How are we doing, Joel? Our sales directly, and that's direct sales to the retail market. Institutions like schools and hospitals and food hubs skyrocketed to 244 million from 373 farms. So again, they're producing product, but they're making provision for like our school system and other places. And that more than doubled the number of farms involved, highlighting a strong shift from scaled up local supply chains. Nationally, and so now I'm sharing some national numbers for you. You might find this interesting too, Kelly. You're a very critical part of the local food. Sounds small, but it represents about 5% of our state's total I think this year, 5.4 billion ag output. So it's significant, it's important, and it's our local food supply. It shows how our producers are smartly adapting to meet growing demand for Arizona-grown products right here at home. This keeps it engaging, positive, and farmer-focused, while clearly contrasting national trends with Arizona's unique strength. In fact, Kelly, and we were just before we went live, we were talking about Frank Martin. Yeah. He told me one time that Arizona is recognized as the state that kind of pioneered the CSA box, the consumer supported agriculture, and you guys call yours the farm box.
We changed the name a few years ago to Farm Box just to make it a little easier for people to maybe understand just the name of it, but it's still very much is like the community supported agriculture thing.
Okay.
But the first time I ever heard about CSA was about 1999.
Okay.
And it was from Frank Martin at Crooked Sky.
Yeah.
And it was a fairly new concept then. It came from Japan, I believe. That whole concept of purchasing a share of a community's farm's harvest and then receiving that in exchange. So
I've done that 4 times now, and the first time that I did a CSA was with your farm.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and what was so fun about it, once I'd met you and we visited, by the way, I don't know if you guys can hear in the background, there's a chicken clucking. So we are in an urban farm. So when I met you and you were showing me how you did it and all the impressive things, I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to try this. And I only purchased the half a share because it was just me at home. But even then, I had leftover and I
Yeah.
was giving it away to my neighbors.
Yeah.
So you can have a half share, a full share. And then, of course, for each farm, it's slightly different. But now, fast forward, we're in 2026, and you're kind of leading the operation in terms of managing this farm
Yep.
right here in the middle of the urban
Yep.
area.
Right in the middle of it all.
Yeah. And it's pretty special, and I think it's going to stay permanent because of the way Agritopia has structured it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Johnson family is the family that originally farmed this land. And then when they developed it, they put the 11-acre organic farm into a farmland trust so that it will always be farmed.
Oh, way cool.
Yeah, so it'll always be farmed in some way.
Yeah. Because you were kind of telling me sometimes the smaller direct market farms, they'll lease land, available land.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
very common.
Gets sold to a developer and it goes into houses.
Yeah, oftentimes, farmers will lease land that's owned by an investor, and then they'll farm it, and then that gives the investor the benefit of that property tax, the agricultural zoning for property tax purposes. But as soon as they're ready to sell or develop, then you got to move on. So it's a nice way to start farming. It's an easy way to get land to use without having that initial capital investment of having to purchase, what is often very expensive land, but you still have to be ready to move if you have to. So
I know. And you had to do that, right?
Yeah, I've moved several times. So over my 20-year career or so farming, I've leased a lot of land and had to, just transition from one piece to the next. And over the years, though, it's gotten harder and harder in the valley. More land has been developed and built on, and there's just less and less available now for farming.
So there's commitment by the Johnston family for a farmland trust.
Yeah.
Means that these 11 acres, and it's certified organic.
It's certified organic, but yeah, very generous offer for sure to put that in that farmland trust so that it will always be farmed in some capacity.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you can see a farm right on the corner of Higley and Ray.
That's right.
And you may see Kelly. She's either out in the farm managing it or inside where you guys pack these farm boxes. So the farm boxes. So talk about that. What's typically included? I'm sure it changes based on season, but kind of give me the lowdown of these seasonal boxes.
It changes. So here in Arizona, we're lucky we grow year round. So our CSA or farm box program runs all year. And we offer a small box and a large box. Each week it contains about 7 or 8 different items. Everything is based on what's growing at the farm, what's in season. We try to mix it up the best we can, give people a chance to try some new things, and then also give them the things that they like. A small share is enough for usually 1 or 2 people for a week, and then the large share is double the quantity. Okay. So it's a good value, something that you can share with a neighbor or a friend if you wanted to, or a large family. So, but it's a good value. Our small box starts at $28 a week. The large one, which is twice the quantity, is $40. So the large one's a good value if you've got a friend or a neighbor you want to split it with, or.
So I have a confession to make, and if any of the Johnstons are watching this. This is the only CSA box I haven't tried yet. Okay. It's like I've done Blue Sky Farms. I've done, you were Crooked Sky Farms. And
I was Desert Roots Farms.
That's it, right. Desert Roots. And then Frank Martin is Crooked Sky. And I've done his. So I have to try your farm box. Yeah. But now, are you guys sold out? Because sometimes based on the season, don't you sometimes get sold out?
We do, and based on the capacity of our farm, so 11 acres. But we do have space right now. We still have capacity farm boxes available in our CSA. So.
Okay. Then tell us. I mean, I want to promote this because this is a classic urban farm, certified organic. It's in a farm trust, so it's going to stay here. How do I sign up? Since this is the one CSA box I haven't tried yet.
So super easy. So you can just go to our website, agritopiafarm.com, click on Buy a Farm Box, and we have a few different options. You can subscribe, where it charges your card every week until you say stop, or you can do what we have is called a sampler box, where you just purchase it when you want it. So you can try one, see how it goes, and if you want to continue, you can buy another one or subscribe. And we will post the contents of the upcoming week's box on our social media.
I see that, so I don't know what I'm waiting for.
Saturday or Sunday, we'll post what's going to be in the next week's box, and so a lot of people will take a look at that and be like, okay, I know what to do with that, and they'll give it a try, or that'll encourage them to subscribe. But
do you guys do what you did for me when I purchased the CSA box from you when you had the other farm? Do you provide recipes?
We do. So we have a content card that goes in each box that tells you what you're dealing with. And then on the back of that is a little recipe card that gives you a chance to try something new.
to me, it's so classic, and it just makes me feel like, you know, you're paying attention to the customers. Okay, so I'm going to sign up. And I'll see if I have a neighbor that will split it with me, because you're right. But now, because it's seasonal, and that's to me what makes it fun. It's kind of like a surprise.
Yeah.
It's like a Christmas gift, but you can have it weekly, and it's got produce. And certainly for the season, you'll get familiar with it. But, you know, when that season shifts, it's kind of like a surprise in the box.
Yep.
Especially if you're not paying attention to it on social media.
Yeah, it's a gradual change. You know,
Yeah.
You'll notice that, like, as things warm up, some of the greens will start to go away, and they'll be replaced by other warm season crops like squashes and zucchinis and cucumbers and things like that. So
all the season. And the other good thing about it, and this is what sometimes we don't realize when we invest in a CSA box and invest in the farm, basically, is you're eating to the season. And some of our nutritionists tell us that seasonal eating is actually very healthy for us.
Yeah. And that's also the best way to ensure that you're getting the freshest produce. You know, obviously, if it's grown here and you know where it was grown, that helps. So we harvest everything the day before delivery. So we deliver on Wednesdays and Fridays, and we harvest on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So not only do you get really fresh, like nutrient-dense food, but it's also going to last longer. So oftentimes you'll get at least 2 weeks of shelf life out of something, so it can stay in your fridge a little bit longer and give you a chance to actually use it and make the most of it.
Yeah. And again, because you're providing recipes, and I'm imagining that we could also go to your website, agritopia.com, right? And probably see other recipes. But it's kind of an adventure. And one of the things that when I do this, because I'm not much of a cook, but your recipes
you don't have to be. I try to find simple recipes, because I'm the same way. I want to find something that doesn't include, you know, doesn't have 20 ingredients. It's something that's simple that I can do just to make use of the fresh food that I have.
But because I, you know, several years ago when I did that, when you had the farm out in Queen Creek, I thought, I've got the recipe, and it was simple, and it did make me cook more.
Yeah.
And I ate healthier, and that's the other thing, the seasonality of these CSA boxes are really helping us get that nutrient-dense food and, you know, vary it and celebrate it and stuff like that. So, besides farm boxes on the on-site, there is the on-site farm store. Is there any other direct-to-consumer options that you guys offer, or is that the biggest one?
Yeah, our farm box is like kind of our main focus, but we have a lot of other avenues as well. We have the farm store that's open every day of the week except for Monday, so you can go in there and shop for produce from there. We also do 2 farmers markets every Saturday. We're at the Heritage District Farmers Market, which is the new one in downtown Gilbert, over by the Park University, the U of A building. That's every Saturday, 8 to 12. And then we also do the downtown Phoenix Farmers Market. Every Saturday, 8 to 1. And that's right in the heart of downtown. So you can certainly go there and find our produce. We also sell, I guess more indirectly, more wholesale. We sell into the Sun Produce Co-op, which then distributes our produce to restaurants around the valley, as well as all the way up to Lake Havasu and all the way down to Tucson for buying clubs and things like that.
And that's on 11 acres of land.
Yeah, so it's amazing how much produce you can grow on 11 acres. Yeah.
How many, and you are being seasonal with your vegetables, but in combination, can you recall from the top of your head how many different vegetables, fruits and vegetables you're growing?
Yeah, we do about 45 different fruits and vegetables throughout the year. So we have a 7-acre orchard in addition to the 4 acres of row crops that we have. So the orchard has quite a few things in it that provide kind of some additional items seasonally. So we've got citrus, peaches, blackberries, apples, medjool dates.
I love the medjool dates. I've had the medjool. So, I mean, I do have to say, Johnston family, that I come to the store and I buy from the store, but I just haven't bought into the CSA box.
Give it a try.
I will.
Box. Try
I will.
It once. Yeah,
this is confessionals. So, all sorts of fun stuff, and it's just like across the street from me. So I actually come up. You know, the other fun thing I've had going into the store is I've found gifts that I can give to family and friends, because they're a little bit unique and different, and so I do that a lot too.
Yeah, she featured some products by other local producers and things as well. And one thing I wanted to mention as well, in addition to the farm box, we've recently partnered with a company called Farm to Pharmacy, and they do prepared meals, and they're using our produce for those prepared meal subscriptions. So we're starting to kind of roll that out to not only the public, but also to some corporations to include in their benefits program.
Perfect.
Where they can purchase a farm box or they can purchase this prepared meal subscription that will include produce from Agritopia Farm. So a good way to eat produce if you don't want to or don't cook quite so much. Just another option. We're trying to kind of give people more options to be able to still eat locally and seasonally, whether they do it themselves or have somebody else do it for them. So, and that's on our website as well.
Makes me think of that whole concept. I don't know if I'm getting the name right, but that using
the food is medicine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Food is medicine.
Yep. That's exactly.
That is so cool.
Yeah. And now you can actually use your HSA and FSA benefits to pay for the food as medicine. So for the prepared meal programs and things. So
does allergies count?
Chronic condition, yes.
Allergies
there
are a chronic
condition.
Lot
of things that, eating healthier can certainly help for sure.
Absolutely.
So that might be one of those things.
Well, and I will say, and so when I do the Agritopia farm box, the same thing will happen. I did cook more of my own meals at home. And that's the other thing. If you're adamant about eating better and you want to make a commitment to eating or to fixing your food at home, and then just celebrating the nutrient-dense local food that we have here in the state of Arizona. And, you basically, that's been your entire career.
You've been doing this a while.
And you love it. And
I do.
So my question to you is, give us why this is your passion. What inspired it?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing I like is that it's a very much full circle job. Like there's not very many things you can do in this world where you get to see it from beginning to end. So I, plant the seed, care for the plant, harvest, deliver, take it to the farmer's market, box it up, and then actually get to meet the person that's going to eat the produce. So it's just pretty cool to be able to kind of do all that. I love being outdoors, obviously. I like growing food. I like the variety. The seasonality provides so much variety. Just when think you're never pick another zucchini again, that season is over and you're on to something else, So I love that part of it. And I love just meeting the people that enjoy and benefit from the produce that I grow. So it's pretty cool to be able to, I don't feel like I'm just kind of a middleman in the middle of something. I really do get to see it from beginning to end. And I love that. So
are you hopeful for farming, especially for the direct market farm environment?
I am, yeah. And I think that there's going to need to be more urban farms kind of like ours, as less and less large tracts of land are available for use. We're going to need more of these, slightly smaller operations. And that's going to require maybe that those farmers are able to have more of a relationship with the people that live right around them and can buy directly from them. So yeah, I definitely am. Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that you're hopeful. It always kind of makes me a little bit sad when I see a farm, and it's your land. You should be able to do with it what you want. But once it's covered over in houses, it's never going to be a farm again. And that's where my heart is. Hence one of the reasons I work for Arizona Farm Bureau. But it's hopeful. It's heartwarming to hear you say that. And now that I know that you guys also supply into the Sun Co-op.
The Sun Produce Co-op,
Sun Produce Co-op. That really excites me because that's very significant. Yeah. And that's basically a hub.
It is.
Where they bring in local produce from various farmers.
Yep. So they work with farms all around the state.
Okay.
And they have a website where I can put my availability and other farms can put their availability, and we can all sell on the same website. Restaurants, buyers, whoever you are, you can go to that. You can purchase from one place, and then they do all of the aggregating. So I'll get a purchase order from them twice a week, and I'll put together what it is they've ordered. They pick it all up, and then they do the end distribution all around the state. So it's great for producers and consumers, really.
I would imagine that a lot of times you're maybe doing that if you plant one seed and you always reap more than you sow.
Yeah.
So a tomato plant, one tomato seed can produce a lot of tomatoes.
Yeah.
So are you doing that mainly when you have an overage of production, or have you planned/plotted your production to take care of Sun Produce?
Yeah, no, we've definitely planned around this co-op now.
Okay.
So it's been around for, I want to say 7 or 8 years now.
Yeah.
And it's built itself up pretty good. So it's become a pretty major channel of distribution for us. So we actually do plant now, knowing which things sell well through the co-op. And I think from a consumer perspective, if I owned a restaurant or a small grocery store or something, and I wanted to buy locally, but I didn't want to have to go to each individual little farm and deal with their individual order policies and distribution, and I only harvest every other Thursday or whatever it happens to be. This is one place you can go. You can shop all the farms and then just get one delivery. So
where are they based?
They're based in Tempe.
Okay, I have yet to show up to the location. I've been aware of.
Yeah.
Because I remember the rollout and the effort to put it together.
Yeah, it's been quite a rollout, and it's gone through a few different iterations, but it's doing well, and it's really been a good source of revenue and a way to find new customers and get our produce to more people with the limited staff that we have, so we don't have to.
So cool.
Yeah, it's definitely an important part of the food chain here.
So my final question is, I'm going to reinitiate getting a CSA box. And it'll be easy because I'm just across the street from Agritopia.
So easy. We'll deliver it to your home. We do home delivery in
Gilbert.
All of Gilbert.
My goodness.
Now bring it right to your doorstep.
Now I'm feeling really spoiled. But talk to someone that might be listening to this that's never considered the CSA box. What are all the different reasons why they should see this as a value proposition and something to consider?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of reasons to join CSA, but I think one main one is to just establish a relationship with a farm. So, I mean, a lot of people will say that they understand how important farms are, but that means we also need to support them, directly and indirectly, not just also, I mean, going to the grocery store supports them, of course, but if you can support a local farm, that's even better. And to get to know the farm and how they grow and where it came from and know that it's, harvested fresh. So this gives you a way to, establish a relationship with a farm, gives you a chance to have a continual supply of fresh produce in your fridge every week. And if you get overwhelmed, you can always just hit the pause button and, and catch up and then resume again. It allows you to try some new things. And oftentimes it might be produce that you've had before, but this is a different variety, one that isn't like commonly commercially grown. And it might be something you didn't like before, and now this little slight difference in variety makes a big difference, and suddenly you like broccoli again, you know. So it gives you a chance to try some different things. It gives you a chance to get more of that produce into your diet. And,
that nutrient dense food. We tell people that Arizona, because of our climate, can grow as many as 240, 250 ag products.
Yeah.
And they said, no way. And I said, well, think about it. Just in your arugula, I think the last time I talked to one of you direct market farmers, you said, oh yeah, I've planted at one time anywhere from 8 to 10 varieties or something like that. Maybe if it's even bigger.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of varieties even within that one type of produce.
Oh, I don't think people realize. I mean, if you flip through a seed catalog, you'll kind of see that, broccoli isn't broccoli. There's, 12 or 15 different varieties. And same with carrots. We all know now that they come in different colors and tastes and textures and things like that. And it's the same with radishes and turnips and, things that maybe you've never tried before that you'll realize are really good. So this gives you a chance to try those things. So
I remember one time and in fact I was interviewing, I believe it was for Talk to a Farmer Friday, Frank Martin, and I showed up, or it might have been a photo session or something, and he was at his bench. You've been to his farm, and he's flipping through this catalog, and I come close. It's a seed catalog,
of course.
And I go, so you plotting and planning for the next season? And he says, yeah, and I want to see what I haven't grown that I might just grow based on what I want to provide to my customers. I mean, I just think he was fascinated.
Yeah. And I still love that. I mean, it's like we all order online now, but I still get the seed catalogs in the mail, and I still like to flip through them. It's kind of like one example. So we're going to grow honeydew this year for the first time in a while.
Cool.
And I was flipping through to find my seed. And did you know that there's a honeydew that has orange flesh?
No.
Yes. There's like a few different kinds of honeydew. I didn't even know that.
So there you go.
So cool things like that. Yeah. Different kinds of melons and so many kinds of melons.
So while the coin collector might get excited about discovering new coins or going through a catalog, my farmers love to go through seed catalogs.
For sure.
Oh, I love it.
For sure.
Kelly, this was so enjoyable. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great to talk to you.
Yes, and I'm glad we got caught up. And what I'm going to do is go on to agritopia.com and
agritopiafarm.com.
Agritopiafarm.com. Agritopiafarm.com and order my